My name was Annie Ward before I was married. And I married a man in the name of Paddy Mongan. So they call me now Annie Mongan. And I have 3 in family, and they're married. And I have 11 grandchildren, and there's 2 dead out of them. So I have 9 living. I was born in a bag tent, right? Was built out of sticks and covered with a bag. And my father decided to get a barrel top wagon, right? And he got a cart made and he got a flat made. A man was fond of horses and carts. It was all the go at the time. My father was a tinker. He used to make cans, saucepans and stuff to try to keep the place going, because there was no dole out. We were getting no dole at that time. And there was a lot of begging done for to raise us up. And they were the hard times, but they were the good times. I wished I could wind the clock back today to them. My mother would do for clothes. My mother was a good sewer, hand sewer. And she'd buy all material. And she'd make all our clothes. And she'd have one special rig out for us if it's Sunday. We used to think Sunday would never come for to get to Mass. It was our day off, and our proud day Sunday was for Mass. We would walk to the chapel miles, but there's none of that now. They want to go to no Mass now. We would go to Kerry in a horse and cart. You'd want no money back in them times, because you had no diesel to buy and you had no petrol to buy. When I got married then, 2 sisters of us got married together. So there was a shoeman in Balladurry we used to buy shoes of. And he took a photo of us and he put us in the newspaper. And that was the only picture we had by our wedding. If you wanted to go at that time to a pub for a drink, you were no bother. You just, first pub you did, you get into it and you were served in it and no problem. You wouldn't have the money for the pub, but if you were going out, you had no problem. If you wanted to go to buy something, you wouldn't follow around. Now when you go into the shop and you're following around from one place to the other. Once you know you're a traveller, well, they can smell the traveller off you. The better minute to live in 9 and you're following from mint to wind. I'd like for my grandchildren to always know who they are. Do you know what I mean? And I'd like them to keep the traveller's way up. I'd never like to let them. I'd never like to live for to forget about the traveller, but who they are like. I'll tell you now, when we were going around the houses there, say when we were young, well, we a couple of sisters of us together. Say we went in begging off you, well, I would can to my sister, gig the beer for libbage. Well, that would be sugar. And if I told her to gig the beer for weed, it would be tea. And for loop would be for flour, and Cullens would be spuds, and cob would be cabbage, and laskin would be salt. How pure as a woman and a fiend as a man. When I got my first house, I went from my caravan into my house. They thought I wouldn't settle in, but I loved my house when I got it, because I had a different life. I had all combiners. I had cotton, cold water, there was a back boiler and on it. I'm here in the Travellers Project for 13 years. I done 5-year training, and I'm 8 years now as a Canoona health worker. I do go out and I help the travellers. I do an awful lot of help for them. And they trust us more going to their doors, because they know that we're a traveller and they're a traveller. My traveller's culture makes me more proud to be a traveller. And I would like for my family, my own family and my grandchildren to keep up all the culture. And I would like for them again to do the same thing to their families down along the line when I won't be around. I'd like for them to hold it. I'm proud of my traveller. I wouldn't change my name for the world.
That was The Travelling Kind, funded by the Department of Justice and Equality and the Department of the Environment as part of National Traveller Pride Week, with thanks to Donegal Travellers Project, Donegal County Council and the DLDC. Produced by Anita Guidera and Stephen McGlinchey.